What is going on, everyone? MikeO back with another Mail Day recap. This is a long overdue video and a long overdue Mail Day. This is stuff I've picked up over the course of the last month plus, and it's been just over 1 month since the last video I did, which is not something that I'm used to doing. I know videos have been a little more sparse during the course of this year because I've just been incredibly busy day in and day out, but a month? That's a little lengthy for me. I usually feel bad when I'm not getting a video out after 2 weeks, but a month, I mean, go back 5 years and I was doing videos daily. But I have been around YouTube a little bit, been watching some stuff. I've appeared on Big Scott 35's Let's Talk on Sunday nights, most Sunday nights. Also just did Hobby Palooza, so shout out to 4 Collectors. Appreciate you guys putting on Hobby Palooza for 2025. If you guys want to check out the stream that I was doing with my buddy Dave from Dave's Midlife Card Crisis, guy who's been around in this community for a very long time, probably like 12 years or so. I will post a link down below, so check it out. It was a fun, just kind of off the cuff collectors national talk, kind of talked about some stuff we collect, some stuff that we're looking forward to, and why we love the National. So the National is coming up. So I should be having a ton more videos coming up because I will be in attendance in Chicago for the National this year. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. I was telling some friends talking about it. I've absolutely never been less prepared for a National. Maybe, going back to like Atlantic City in 2015 or something when I was only able to do a day trip that year. And by that, I just mean I've just been so busy, like, I have absolutely nothing ready outside of the fact that I finally booked a plane ticket like about a week ago. Thankfully, a group of us, we've had an Airbnb on lockdown for a year. But outside of that, like no specific plans outside of I'm getting there Tuesday and I'll be checking out the White Sox-Phillies game with a group of my buddies. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I've been to the White Sox stadium a couple times. But the fact that the Phillies will be there is absolutely the reason that piqued my interest in going for sure. And then doing the show Wednesday through Sunday. And as always, you just look forward to it. So I'll talk a little bit about the National and some thoughts on the National as we go, but want to get into some of these pickups. We've got some Tops Now stuff, some Phillies image variation short prints, a couple autographs, a vintage card, or a pre-war card, I guess technically, that I've been looking for a while, and then 3 really big pickups right here. So we'll show them off. So let's go through the Tops Now cards. Tops Now, to me, is fun to collect. It's amazing how long Tops Now has been around. We're probably pushing close to 10 years at this point. So I pick up every Phillies one, and I include them in my Phillies Ultimate Tops team set binder. Documents the season. Some things aren't that big of something you're not going to maybe remember, and it's kind of a questionable edition. And then sometimes they're, historic moments or moments that you will remember years down the road. So Trey Turner, third active player with 300 career steals, not that big of a deal, but going to pick it up for the Phil's collection. Otto Kemp, who's been a fan favorite this year. He was just dominating in AAA, finally got the call, and he's been a really useful bat with the Phillies off the bench. Now he's getting to play a little more with Alec Bohm being hurt, but this was his first big league homer in a shutout victory, and this was his first 3 MLB hits that helped fuel a walk-off victory. So Otto Kemp, he'll have rookie cards next year. As you can see, it's a call-up card just based on production, and he wasn't going to get a rookie card, so it's kind of his first major league card, so it's sort of a rookie card, but it's not labeled a rookie card. His rookie cards will be in 2026 products. That's all up for debate, I guess. And then a couple of Zach Wheelers, who's been outstanding. Hopefully he finally wins the Cy Young he deserves. Should have won it a couple years ago, was straight up robbed. Corbin Burns, obviously an excellent pitcher, but you look at the numbers, you look at the seasons. He deserved it over Corbin Burns. Threw a ton more innings. And just should have been Cy Young, but hopefully this year he gets his opportunity. Last year is up for debate too. Chris Sale, you couldn't really argue against Sale other than the fact that, one of the more important games of the year. He was unavailable at the end, but their numbers were comparable. But Sale had a great year. But Wheeler's been just there a couple times. We got the super short prints, the golden mirror image variations. Been able to pick up a few of those. So here's Trey Turner. That's from Series 2 this year. Edmundo Sosa from the recent release of Series 2. Jesus Lazardo, same thing, Series 2. Michael Mercado, Series 2. Bryson Stott, this is a popular one because of the pencil bat. Bryson Stott is unbelievably popular both in Philadelphia and semi in the hobby, though he's waning a little bit, for a guy who's really not had a lot of on-field success in recent years. I mean, he's had a few moments, but he has been a little bit of a disappointment numbers-wise for sure and consistent production-wise. So we'll see what his future holds. And then the Bryce Harper Golden Mirror image variation from last year, or from 2024 Topps, I should say. Yeah, 2024. That is last year. So nice Harper variation. And some people like these. They'll collect just maybe the Harpers or their favorite players, stuff like that. Some people like the rookies. I try and pick up all the Phillies, and they can be tough. I mean, there's certain non-popular players that have only sold once or twice. So sometimes even the less popular players, people just don't notice, and they end up just sitting in common boxes and such. A couple autographs. Picked up the sweet Jimmy Rollins 1989 Topps on-card auto. Would love to do the Phillies set of this. These are surprisingly pretty popular. Not as cheap as you would think for certain players, but they made it quite a few Phillies. I love 89 Topps. That was the first packs I ever opened. That's really the set that got me involved or interested in the hobby at all. So would love to maybe eventually do that. So I'll have to print out the checklist one of these days and kind of keep an eye. But I just remember in the past, bidding on some Cliff Lees and stuff. And Cliff Lee, you can usually get his autographs fairly cheap, but his were going a little higher than you would think for, in this set. So nice Jimmy Rollins. Couple football pickups, couple Drew Bledsoe autos for the collection. This is a green endorsements, serial numbered 1 of 5. I don't even know what the heck this is. This is from 2024 Topps Motif. So Bledsoe on-card auto. Not bad looking. I mean, obviously, once again, you'd prefer to have the logo and stuff, but these were cheap. The gold auto from Topps Chrome. It is a sticker, numbered to 50, but this was less than $20. This is from Topps Composite. So hard to turn some of those down. Don't go crazy buying the football, but the Bledsoe stuff I'll look at and some other things. All right, so we got the old school stuff coming up next. And I will say the old school stuff is what drives me at the National. I love everything. I look forward to brand new products, and I like picking up color parallels and autographs and new inserts and such of the current modern day players. I love the vintage stuff, and I love the pre-war stuff. I really love them all. I wouldn't say I specifically have any specific favorite. It just can kind of be what mood you're in. But when I'm at the National, I'm usually more focused on the pre-war stuff, the odd stuff, the really rare stuff, because the National is one of the few shows you can kind of find that stuff at. I mean, the Philly show is really, really good, and they have quite a bit of pre-war stuff and lots of vintage and everything like that. But the National is still, it's bigger. It's a larger show. There's going to be more dealers there, more guys who maybe only come out a couple times a year, or guys from across the country or different areas of the country that aren't necessarily coming to the Philly show. So that's kind of what I usually focus on. This year, I haven't given it a lot of thought. I mean, I'm honestly treating this National, in my mind, like a vacation. And I've done that in the past, but recent years, I've just had a whole bunch of stuff going on in terms of bringing stuff that I was focused on selling, and I couldn't really relax until I did sell it because I didn't want to be hauling stuff around. I would bring a lot of stuff for some of the trade nights, and I might walk through some of the trade nights this time, but I don't care if I go to them or not this year. And I've also been buying stuff for inventory for my eBay store, which is That link's always down below too. 50,000 plus listings. Not that I won't be looking for stuff for that, or if I see opportunities, but I'm not driving for the first time in like 5 nationals. So I have to be very selective. Large quantity of stuff's really not going to work unless it's such a deal that you can afford to ship stuff back. But there comes a whole hassle and cost with potentially shipping stuff. So that's not something I'm looking to do. So I'm not going to be able to do any of the huge 5,000 monster box vintage lot purchases I've been able to do in recent years. And collection wise, I have picked up quite a few amazing things for my collection this year. So some of the things that I really need for the collection are not things that I'm currently going to be able to obtain, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to run into cool things or find neat things. And I've, in recent years, been able to acquire some of the vintage stuff I've really wanted, whether it be the Clemente rookie or Hank Aaron rookie or some of the Ted Williams cards I've looked at. So I'll look at different things, but I don't have any specific agenda. I'll keep an eye out for Golden Mirror image variation Phillies I need, but I don't expect to run into a ton of those there. That's kind of eBay fodder. So we'll just see. But what I'm most looking forward to, as always, is to get in there and hanging out with a group of friends. Guys I'm staying with, Eastern Connecticut Sports Cards, Big Scott 35, Wesker Griff, now Hitman 23, late addition to the party. I don't know if that's breaking news I was supposed to let everyone know or if he's told everyone, but Hitman 23 is coming to the National. Dave's Midlife Card Crisis, among others that I'll be staying with, hanging out with, and getting to the show. And then, of course, we've got the Baseball Collector YouTube hangout on Thursday. I'm sure once again that'll be bigger than ever. Friday, Filmington and his crew at Spitballing Cards is having another get-together as well. I believe that's announced. So I'll be finding my way to attend both of those for sure, and then seeing people at the show. It's just going to be a ton of fun. I'm absolutely looking forward to that. So looking at a few more cards. So here's a 1940 play ball, old Pete Alexander. So Grover Cleveland. Beautiful card. I love 1940 play ball. I think it's a beautiful set. This is one I shockingly haven't had. I've looked at it many times. I've looked at higher grade, lower grade. Just kept not running into one at the right price. And I finally did. It's a 1.5. I'm fine. I don't really care what the grade is. Centering's not perfect. Definitely off left to right. But this is not a specific card where, to me, it stands out. I mean, now that I've pointed it out, I'm sure you can see it's wider on that side. But unlike a lot of Topps issues, it's not that extreme that it's something that just bothers you as soon as you see it. Your eye's not taken right to it. I'm looking right at that image right there. I was able to grab this at a 1.5 at a really good price. So I was happy with that. Super excited to pick up a Grover Cleveland. Obviously not playing days, but it's pretty neat. And I love the image. I mean, seeing the old school Phillies uniform and everything, just super cool. So if you're a Phillies collector or a Hall of Fame collector, maybe consider picking up Grover Cleveland. And, you can get it at a reasonable price if you hunt around. Sometimes it might take you 5 years. All right, other awesome pickups. Here's a 1929 30 exhibits, 4-on-1 Lefty-O duel. And we've got Freiberg, Fresco Thompson, and Don Hurst. So 4-on-1, all Phillies. Lefty-O duel, the most popular of them, I would say. Though I'm sure that's a Giants uniform, I believe. But it is labeled as Philadelphia. So that's cool. I was able to pick up a pile of stuff at an auction. This is one that was pre-graded. I actually have a bunch of other stuff that is out currently for grading. Probably, well, I don't know. I guess it could be here before the National. I was hoping it would be in before the National so I could bring a few cards to people at the show, save some shipping, but we'll see. But that's awesome right there. And then we've got a 1929 Cashin Publications R316 Chuck Klein in a 3.5, so a really nice grade. You can see it says Chuck Klein. Love the Phillies logo there. Beautiful image, blank back. This is one of those debated, like, Chuck Klein rookie cards. You know, you have some publications, it'll say rookie card A, B, C, D, E, but it's in 1929. I believe his rookie year was 1928. So beautiful Chuck Klein. I'm sure my Philly friends will love that one. And then I would say, I guess the truest of the rookie cards would be this. So finally was able to pick this one up. And I thought I got this at a steal. Like, easily could have gone for a couple $100 more than it went for. But a 1926-29 exhibits postcard back Chuck Klein 2.5. So again, pretty darn nice grade. We got the postcard back there. Beautiful image. I mean, look at that. I love seeing the Phillies hat, the Phillies jersey. This image was used on other cards as well, but Chuck Klein, Phillies NL. I mean, that's a beauty. That's right up there, and that top echelon of cards in the Phillies collection. Hall of Fame rookie card, beautiful, super super awesome. Absolutely thrilled to add that. This is something that I would have been thrilled to add at the National, but you gotta pick up things when you can pick them up. When you're looking at the pre-war stuff, sometimes the right opportunity is the right opportunity. It's fun and cool to buy stuff at the National, but if you can get it before or right after, go for it. That's why the National, generally what I'm looking for are items that I won't find on eBay or I don't see maybe at an auction. This is something I got from an auction house, so it's not something you're going to see on eBay that often, though it's not insanely rare like some other stuff. But that's kind of my personal strategy at the National, generally speaking, is looking for the stuff I'm not going to see other places. Doesn't mean I don't run into things that are available on eBay and maybe it's the right deal, but that's not what I'm looking for. If I can just sit around and lay in bed and order something on eBay on my phone, like, that's not what I'm traveling for. But either way, I'm looking forward to the National. Let me know what your National plans are. Are you going to the show? Are you going to some of the hangouts? Are you going to any baseball games? Or are you hanging out from home? And if so, are you watching it? If you do, check in. I will absolutely be doing daily recaps. Hopefully do some videos from the Airbnb in Chicago, video or so from the White Sox game, videos at the show. That's definitely, I'm hoping with a little bit of free time, I should be able to get some stuff out. Looking forward to it, as always. Looking forward to seeing everyone. So many people at the National that you get to see really once a year, or maybe just a couple times a year. Sometimes only every few years. Of course, a lot of us will watch each other's videos, comment, speak, whether it be the phone or lives or just through chats and such. But that in person, that event, not to be underestimated. There are a lot of cool shows. There are a lot of great shows, but there still really is nothing that replicates the National and how amazing it is. So let me know in the comments down below, and I will talk to you next time. Have a great one.